Have you ever thought your commercial or industrial project in southern New Jersey was good to go, only to find out it's stuck in permitting limbo? Are you hearing about the Pinelands Commission for the first time? Maybe after you've already submitted plans to your township or county? If your site falls within the Pinelands area, there's a whole separate layer of environmental review, one that can completely derail your project if you don't plan up front for it. In this video, we're going to walk through exactly what's required when applying to the Pinelands Commission, why it's so different from your usual building approval process, and how you can get it right the first time. Hey there, I'm Doug Ruhlin, Principal Environmental Consultant here at RMA. We've helped hundreds of clients get through the Pinelands Commission process without the delays and headaches that often come with it. The Pinelands area is over 1 million acres in size and stretches across 7 counties in New Jersey. So if your project is anywhere in South Jersey, particularly if it's industrial, commercial, or new residential development, there's a very good chance the Pinelands Commission has jurisdiction over it. And unlike your local township planning board or zoning office, the Commission operates under its own regulatory system, known as the Pinelands Comprehensive Management Plan, or CMP. It's one of the strictest and most complex environmental review processes in the country. Let's jump in and take a look. So first, does your project even need a Pinelands application or approval? If you're building something new, or expanding, modifying, or even changing the use of an existing site, you probably do. We're talking about things like new industrial or commercial buildings, warehouses, retail, mining or recycling facilities, expansion of new parking areas, subdivisions, utilities or stormwater work, and even grading or clearing land above a certain threshold. And here's what surprises a lot of folks. Even if part of your project already exists or you're just modifying it, you may still need a full application. The Commission looks at the whole property and everything that could potentially affect the surrounding environment. Now, if your project qualifies, here's what a typical Pinelands application usually requires. First up, the application form itself. Simple on the surface, but it has to be accurate. You'll need details like site acreage, proposed land use, ownership, and a clear project description. One wrong move here can cause delays or even a rejection of your application. Secondly, a current survey or site map. This has to be to scale and typically signed off on by a licensed engineer or surveyor. It needs to show things like property boundaries, wetlands locations, topography, access roads, existing structures, all the pieces that determine environmental impact. Third, you'll need detailed site plans or layouts of what you are proposing. This includes proposed buildings, driveways, stormwater management systems, septic or sewer connections, lighting, fencing, you name it. These plans need to line up exactly with your application and your survey. Next comes the environmental documentation, and this is where it can get tricky. You might need a threatened and endangered species habitat evaluation. Pine snakes, tree frogs, and even rare plants can stop a project cold if habitat or the species themselves are identified. You could also need wetland delineations, stormwater plans, soil tests, cultural resource studies, or even nitrate dilution models if you're using a septic system. And if you're proposing anything near wetlands or within transition areas, add more mapping and possibly mitigation plans to the list. Then there's documentation of existing uses or permits. The Commission may ask for proof of previous approvals, infrastructure, or ownership, and they may not take your word for it. If you've submitted them before, they want to know. One overlooked step, municipal master plan consistency. Even if your town is probably going to ultimately approve your proposed plan, the Commission may require separate proof that your project lines up with local zoning and planning restrictions. Thinking you're going to put an industrial facility in a residential zone? It's probably not going to fly, both on the township and Pinelands levels. And yes, there are fees. You'll pay an application fee, but also potentially more for inspections, data review, or for other reasons. And if your project triggers mitigation or restoration work, those could also come with their own costs. But we're still not done. For bigger or more complicated projects, the Commission might ask for traffic or hydrogeologic studies, air quality or emissions data, NJDEP permits for wetlands or stormwater impacts, and even off-site mitigation or restoration plans. The point is, they want the whole picture, what you're building, how it affects the site, and how it fits into the larger landscape and environment. So how long does all this take? If your application is complete and relatively neat and clean, you might get a certificate of filing in 30 to 60 days. But in most cases, plan for up to 6 months, maybe more. If you're missing information or your site has environmental complications, expect a long review process, or worse, an indefinite stall while the Commission waits for more data. This is where RMA comes in. We know the Pinelands Commission and their regulations inside and out. We've submitted hundreds of applications and we know what gets flagged and what doesn't. We help clients identify what's required up front, prepare and coordinate surveys, maps, and technical documents, communicate on your behalf with the Pinelands Commission, respond to their data requests quickly, and avoid the mistakes that trigger delays. Because let's be real, every day your application is stuck in review is a day that your project isn't moving forward. So if you're planning a project in the Pinelands area of New Jersey and you want to avoid the pitfalls, let's talk. Reach out to us here at RMA. We'll review your site, walk you through what's needed, and help you build a game plan that gets you to approval faster.